Wealth Our Way Wednesdays, 12:30 p.m. 15 minutes of finance. What do you do when you're starting from the mud with less than zero? No plan, no role model, no hero. Take to the streets, bring heat like De Niro, or tune in the wild, the network, the thorough. If it was me, I'd sit down with a pad and a pen, hit my homie shitty thought with a friend, think of spitting real knowledge from beginning to end. 15 minutes, Wealth Our Way, let the lesson begin. Yeah, 15 minutes of finance with your man, Big Tank. Let's get it. The production team is doing their thing these days. What is going on, my people? It's your main man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto is, wealth is not only for the wealthy. I welcome each and every one of you to episode 206. So I told you we changed the format up. We're not doing go or no go for the month of February. We are talking about just influential, historical African-American entrepreneurs. And today we're going to discuss none other than Madam C.J. Walker. A lot of you know who Madam C.J. Walker is because we all get dyed, fried, and laid to the side with our hair, whether it's a haircut, whether it's a perm, whether you're laying your edges down, whatever you're doing, the origins of all of that in the African-American community can be traced back to Madam C.J. Walker. We're going to learn a few things about Madam C.J. Walker today. So first and foremost, she is often credited with the creation of the salon-style beauty process. Back in which New York, upstate New York is where she first started to proliferate her business. She had worked under another person. They actually had a very serious legal dispute on whether the process that Madam C.J. Walker was going to bring to the market was her idea or it was stolen from someone else. There was a great documentary done by LeBron James and his team to bring to light all of the business successes that Madam C.J. Walker accomplished in the area of beauty and hair care. So when you talk about the creation of wealth and generational wealth, one of the things that you have to start with is how do you build your wealth in the first place? You know, we talk about the differences between having a W-2 job or going in the route of being an entrepreneur. Whereas the W-2 job in most people's mind provides a level of security because your paycheck is coming every week. You have to think about the fact that whoever's providing your paycheck at some level up the chain are themselves an entrepreneur. So we all take a level of risk when we go to work every day. When you think about the things that Madam C.J. Walker was able to accomplish when there was no internet, when there were no schools that taught the ability to build a business from the ground up, she not only had the passion and the intelligence to create her product and her system, she had the business acumen to spread it in the face of competition because her former employer did everything in her power to undercut her reach and her ability to spread her product to other clients. So Madam C.J. Walker is who we celebrate and honor today. I would ask each and every one of you to spend some time, especially if you're teaching your children of the importance of entrepreneurial experience and what it takes to stick to and see a process through to the end. I would ask y'all all to do some research on Madam C.J. Walker. Today's topic, today we're going to cover a subject. I broached it last week. My man Brew brought it up. He talked about the 529 plan and some of the changes that are being made to allow people to build wealth for their children. There's a great book that was referred to me. I just started reading it, but the reviews are off the chain, called Die with Zero. And the premise of it goes a little bit contrary to what I teach here at 15 Minutes of Finance and Wealth Our Way, which is to build legacy wealth and to be able to transfer wealth to other generations. The Die with Zero concept is not saying do not leave money to your heirs. It's not saying do not provide for your heirs. The Die with Zero concept is more so talking about making sure that your heirs can benefit from your money at the times that they need it the most. So when you think about the 529 changes, they're allowing you now to take money out of a 529 plan. Let's start with what a 529 plan is. A 529 plan is a tax advantage college savings vehicle. It allows you to put money away for a child or any beneficiary that you so wish, whether they're related to you or not, allows you to put money away for them, and that money will grow tax-free. And if used for an eligible college expense, it will always be tax-free. If you take the money out for something other than an eligible college expense, there are various taxes and penalties that may occur. One of the things that has made 529 plans not really take off the way it was originally thought they would when they came out is that people are concerned about what happens if my child doesn't need the money for an eligible college expense. What happens if my child doesn't go to college? What happens if my child gets an academic scholarship? What happens if my child gets an athletic scholarship? What happens if we are eligible for financial aid? There are a lot of ways that a person could go at age 18, 19 that would have them leaving this money around. Now, there are provisions in the 529 plan in case that happens. You can change the money to another beneficiary. You can leave the money in all the way up until retirement age and then take it out and use it as an IRA. But the number one way now that they are making an outlet for people to not worry about having that problem is you can now roll money that is inside of a 529 plan into a Roth IRA. And a Roth IRA, as you guys know from following the show, is an individual retirement account. And the individual retirement account, the money goes in, you get no tax deduction for putting the money in. However, as the money continues to grow, and at the point where you take the money out, you will pay no income taxes on this money. This is huge. So let's talk about what made this come to pass. So the IRS, the Senate passed a law, and part of the law created inside of IRS section 126, the allowance for you to roll over up to $35,000 from your 529 plan to your Roth IRA. This becomes effective January 1st of next year. January 1st of 2021, you will be able to take this money out of your 529 and put it into a Roth IRA for the child of your choice. So let's talk about the technical way this has to work. You have to have the 529 plan. Child A is the beneficiary. You put the money in for child A. Upon eligibility, you will open up a Roth IRA for child A and successfully be able to roll the money from the 529 to the Roth. Let's talk about what needs to happen. So in a Roth IRA, you are subject to contribution limits. Right now, I want to say you can contribute up to $6,000 into a Roth. It may be $6,500. I always tell you, check the numbers on the IRS website. But let's just say for all intents and purposes that it's $6,000. If you had $20,000 inside of your 529 plan, you could not roll the entire 20 over. In any given year, you can roll 6,000 of it over. So this is what's going to take place over a number of years. This is going to be a process. This is not going to be, oh, I have X number of dollars in my 529. Let me roll it directly into my Roth. You're going to have to do it subject to the contribution limits. The other thing is the money will have had to have been in the account for 15 years. I know that sounds very, very onerous, but think about my situation. My son just turned 15 2 weeks ago. He has a 529 plan. We've been contributing to it since he was a baby. So now he is eligible for this rollover. I've been putting the money in for 15 years. It's grown to a certain number. I can start taking up to $6,000 out of his 529 plan and move it to a Roth IRA for him. And he looks like the person who this might be the ideal thing to do it for because he's playing sports at a pretty high level. He may get a college scholarship for sports. So then I have this money that I earmark for college expenses that I may not be able to use for college expenses. I could roll it into a Roth IRA. When he graduates from college, he's already set up on his way with some retirement savings. 15-year look back. So don't think of that as crazy. If your child is, 12 now when you're thinking about doing this, yeah, you have some negotiating to do as to how long the money would have to be in there and whether this makes sense or not. But if you have a newborn child or a newborn niece relative and you want to set this up for them, the 15-year period would not be an issue. The other thing is you can't roll over contributions that were made within the previous 5 years. I know that sounds redundant to the 15-year, but what that basically means is that, so as I said, for my son, I've been doing these for 15 years, but anything in the last 5 years that I've made contributions on, that I have to let continue to grandfather and grow inside the 529 until I can roll it into the IRA. Now, the thing about this that you really should focus on is your continuing tax-free growth. So what I want to teach people to do is to use this plan as a way, if you're thinking logically, you can now say, hey, I want to do a Roth IRA for my child, but I'm limited to $6,000 a year. Why not set that child up with a 529 plan and pay into the 529 plan? Same premise as the Roth IRA. You get no deduction going in, but now it's growing tax-free. You can let that money grow side by side to the Roth IRA and roll it over when you have the time. The limit they may change, but right now it's $35,000 lifetime. So be conscious of that. You don't want to put so much money in that it grows to such a big amount and you can't roll it all over. But if you're doing $500 a year, $50 a month is $600 a year. These are ways for you to start saving money tax-free. The thing we teach here at Wealth Our Way is that whether you are a multimillionaire or whether you are living paycheck to paycheck, barely above the poverty line, we still have financial solutions that can help ease your financial burden in your household. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with me today. I want to give you 3 quick tips on how we can take advantage of the 529 to Roth rollover. Tip 1, begin today. Open up a 529 plan today, regardless of the age of your child. Remember, we think college age, getting out of high school, going to college, 18, 19. You can go to school whenever you want to. You can open up a 529 plan for whomever, so long as it's going to be used for educational purposes. So tip 1 is open up a 529 plan today. Tip 2, keep in mind that you are going to want to roll this over to a Roth IRA. So it's nothing wrong with stopping and starting a Roth IRA today to be ready to receive this rollover. You can simultaneously put $25 into one account per month, $25 in the other, using a Vanguard, a Schwab, or a Fidelity. Tip 3, sit down with your child and explain to them what you are doing to help build the legacy, what you are doing, what stocks you're picking, mutual funds you're picking, ETFs you're picking. There's very few things that are worse than a parent doing all of this planning, getting their kids fiscally prepared, but not showing them what they're doing and keeping them fiscally responsible. So those are our 3 tips. Open up your 529 today, your Roth today, and then sit down with your child and explain to them what you're doing. With that being said, I wish you all a pleasant remainder of your Wednesday. And remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy.
Thanks for tuning in to the Wild Network. For more great content like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page at Wealth Our Way Network. Also, don't forget to follow us on IG and Facebook. Remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy.